What if the connection people feel between Jimin and Jungkook does not stop with the two of them? What if that closeness quietly extends into Jimin's family, into the space that usually only parents are allowed to enter? This question keeps coming back among fans, and the more you look at the small details, the clearer the answer becomes. Jungkook is not just close to Jimin, he is close to Jimin's parents. And the most surprising part is how natural that closeness feels, especially with Jimin's mother. At first, many fans assumed the relationship was polite and respectful, nothing more. That would be normal. After all, idols are busy, schedules are intense, and family time is private. But over the years, small moments, words, and reactions have painted a very different picture. A picture that shows warmth, trust, and something that feels very close to family. Jimin has always spoken about his parents with deep affection. He often mentions how much their support means to him, how their love keeps him grounded. When someone like that allows another person into that emotional space, it is not accidental. It means that person has proven themselves again and again. Jungkook did exactly that. From their early days as trainees, Jungkook and Jimin were almost inseparable. They trained together, struggled together, and grew up together. Jimin's parents did not just hear about Jungkook through stories, they watched him grow alongside their son. They saw his behavior, his attitude, and the way he treated Jimin when no one was forcing him to do so. Parents notice things fans don't always see. They notice who stays calm when their child is stressed, who checks in when their child is exhausted, who protects without being asked. And Jungkook has always been that person for Jimin. This is why the relationship between Jungkook and Jimin's mother stands out so strongly. A mother's trust is not easy to earn, especially when her child is living a life filled with pressure, criticism, and constant attention. For her to see Jungkook as more than just a friend or a teammate says everything. Over time, it became clear that Jimin's mother treats Jungkook like her own child, not formally, not ceremoniously, but naturally. The way a mother worries, the way she cares, the way she opens her heart without hesitation. In Korean culture, this kind of acceptance is deeply meaningful. When a parent considers someone as their own child, it means that person has become part of the family emotionally, not just socially. It means trust has already been established, and boundaries have softened. Jungkook fits into that space effortlessly. He never tried to impress Jimin's parents, he never forced closeness, he simply showed up as himself. Respectful, caring, sincere. Over time, that sincerity spoke louder than any words could. Fans began noticing how comfortable Jungkook seems when Jimin talks about his family. There is no tension, no awkwardness. Instead, there is familiarity, the kind that suggests shared meals, shared conversations, and shared concern for each other's well-being. Jimin's mother has watched Jungkook support her son through countless moments, some public, many private. She has seen how Jungkook reacts when Jimin is tired, overwhelmed, or emotionally vulnerable. And she has seen how Jimin responds in return, trusting Jungkook without hesitation. That kind of bond is not hidden from a parent. In fact, it's exactly the kind of bond a parent hopes their child has. Someone reliable, someone genuine, someone who does not leave when things get hard. This is why the idea that Jungkook is like a son to Jimin's mother feels believable. It explains the ease, it explains the trust, it explains why there is no visible distance between them. Jungkook has spent years beside Jimin, not just during success, but during struggle. Parents remember who stays during the difficult moments. Fame comes and goes, popularity rises and falls, but character shows itself over time. Jungkook's character never changed. As the years passed, Jimin and Jungkook matured together. They faced global attention, criticism, and overwhelming schedules. Through it all, their dynamic remained steady, and that steadiness is something parents value deeply. It reassures them. It tells them that their child is not alone. Jimin's mother has seen Jungkook grow from a young trainee into a confident adult. She has seen his sense of responsibility, his humility, and his loyalty. Those qualities do not go unnoticed, especially by someone who loves Jimin as deeply as she does. This closeness is not about grand gestures. It's about everyday care, checking in, listening, being present. Jungkook excels in those quiet moments, the moments that truly matter. That is why fans feel such a strong emotional pull toward the story. It's not dramatic, it's not exaggerated, it feels real. There is something incredibly touching about imagining Jungkook being welcomed into Jimin's family space, not as an outsider, but as someone who belongs there, someone whose presence brings comfort rather than concern. And that comfort goes both ways. Jungkook respects Jimin's parents deeply. He understands the importance of family, especially for someone like Jimin, who draws so much emotional strength from his loved ones. That respect strengthens the bond even further. When Jimin speaks, even casually, about warmth, support, or safety, Jungkook's presence feels implied, and Jimin's mother sees that connection clearly. She understands how much Jungkook means to her son, not just professionally, but emotionally. This is why fans believe the relationship between Jungkook and Jimin's parents, especially his mother, is so strong, because it has been built quietly over years through actions rather than words. It's the kind of closeness that doesn't need to be announced. It simply exists. And every time fans revisit this topic, they realize something important. This bond did not form overnight. It grew alongside Jimin and Jungkook themselves. It matured as they matured. It deepened as they faced life together. So when people ask how close Jungkook is to Jimin's parents, the answer is not found in one interview or one moment. It's found in the consistency of his presence, in the trust he earned, in the way Jimin's mother looks at him not as an outsider, but as someone who she has already accepted into her heart. And that story continues to grow quietly, just like the bond itself. All of this leads to one quiet but powerful understanding. The closeness between Jungkook and Jimin's parents, especially his mother, is not something built for cameras or fan discussions. It's built on trust, time, and sincerity. It exists because Jungkook consistently showed up as someone who truly cares for Jimin, not just as a bandmate, but as a person whose happiness and well-being matter deeply. When a mother sees someone as her own child, it means she feels safe leaving her most precious person in that someone's care. It means she believes that person will protect, support, and respect her child even when no one is watching. Jungkook earned that place slowly, through years of quiet loyalty and genuine concern. That is why this bond feels so real to fans. It's rooted in real life, real emotions, and real relationships. And maybe that's why the story of Jikook continues to touch so many hearts. Because it's not just about music or performance, it's about connection, about chosen family, about two people whose bond is strong enough to be embraced by the family that raised them. If this story made you feel something, if you believe bonds like this are rare and meaningful, let us know how you feel in the comments. Share your thoughts, share your perspective, and share this video with other Jikook fans who understand how deep this connection truly goes. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss more stories like this, stories that go beyond the surface and into the heart of what makes Jikook so special.